Hello, my DevNation friends from everywhere in the world. Welcome to another Tech Talk. Today, if you're interested in CLIs, IDEs, terminal, if you want to be more productive, this session is for you. And we're going to have as a presenter today a regular DevNation speaker. You know, you've seen him multiple times, the great Alex Soto. Alex, welcome back.
Hello, Edson.
Ah,
So
so
yeah, here we are.
Oh, nice. And I know that you have your kids today at home with you, and how are they doing?
Good. I mean, they are playing Nintendo now, so they are busy.
Okay, so no CLIs on their Switch.
No.
Not yet, at least. Okay, so I'll leave the stage to you because everybody's super excited to know more about 11 CI tools that every developer should know. Alex, the stage is yours. So, live from Barcelona, Spain, and Cary, North Carolina, welcome to DevNation.
Thank you. So yeah, let's start. And I think that you can see now my screen. I think that I'm sharing it. Yeah, okay. So let's start with this quick uh, session about 11 CLI tools that every developer should know. Just keep in mind that this is the link of these slides, bit.ly slash 11 CLI tools. And there you will find the link to all the tools that I'm going to present you today. So no worries about trying to remember all links because they are there. And also, I would like to say that most of the tools works in Linux, Mac, and Windows, but it's true that there are some that maybe they only work in Linux and Mac. But let's start. My name is Alex Soto. My Twitter is Alex Soto V, and my email is asotoweb@redcat.com. If you've got any question, you can just do it now in the chat. But also, if you want to ping me later, just do it in Twitter or email, and also I'll share this link of the slides in my Twitter. And yeah, as Edson said, I work in Red Hat, and I'm the co-author of Testing Java Microservices, Quarkus Cookbook, and Securing Kubernetes Secrets books. So let's start because it's a CLI session, but I want you to show, as you might expect, it's the terminal. So look, this is my terminal, okay? And this first tool I'm just showing because when I do some sessions, there is always the question of, hey, why your terminal looks like this and not in another way? You see that this is a Git repository. You see, well, it says the Apple, but then here in the Git repository, it says the current branch. It says that it's in GitHub. The changes between me and the remote. Also, I see here the current time and so on. And if I run commands, I could see here also the exit code. And of course, if I do a change in Quarkus, then instead of green, it appears in yellow. And so there are some changes. And most of the people says, hey, why your terminal do this kind of things? And it works in this way because this tool is called Power Level 10K. It's a tool that you can install, and you see here how you will get all the information. When you install it, it will start asking you if you want that it looks in this way or in this other way, this way, or with you see in my case it works with this arrow, but you could also put it with this, and even you can put how much time took a command to run and so on. And this tool only works for Mac and Linux, I guess. If you get the installation, you'll see how to install it with manual or on my SSH, Presto, Zim, Antibodies, Plug, Zgen, and so on, or even with Homebrew or Arch Linux. And one of the great things that you can find with this is that, for example, I can do dot dot. I'm going to parent directory. Or, for example, I could go to cd Quarkus, and you see, I can navigate through the directories. This one, and for example, this one. And also it works with 3. If I do 3, then I move it 3. Of course, I can do 2, I'm going here. And even I can do 4, I'm moving here. So it's a way to navigate really, really easy. And well, you see that there's a lot of more things that you can do. For example, there is also auto completion of some commands. For example, if I go into Quarkus, I can do git branch, and you see, with just the tab, I can select the branch, select it, and then I just move it. Okay, so it has this kind of integration which are pretty cool. Also notice that when I'm writing something, it's not written in the same line, but in the bottom, right? So it's in the underline. So it really works pretty well when you've got long lines to to write. Okay, this is the first tool. Let's go to the second tool. The second tool is BAT. Maybe most of you are already using cat for visualizing files, but you will know that, okay, yeah, it works, but let's see how it is. Output in cat and then do it with cat. Let's go to the CLI script. This is another example. I can do a cat of planets. And you see that, okay, just a cat. It's just, showing the content of the JSON file. But what's happening if I do a bed of planets, the JSON? Okay, you see that, okay, it's a bit better. See that it's the colors are not pretty cool because my background is white. So I can do an export bed theme. It has a lot of themes, bad. One of those are GitHub, and now when I do bad planet, you see that okay, it's much better. At the end, it's just using the one that it has in GitHub. For example, if I instead of taking JSON file, I just go to the Quarkus source me Quarkus, no, Quarkus, Quarkus. So, okay, what's happening? Quarkus. Okay, it's in the, well, we can do the bad pom.xml. You see that, okay, it's much better than the JSON. You see that all the colors with all the, with all the XML tags. So much better than cat. Also, you see the lines, and also you see that with my scrolling, with my arrows, I can scrolling up and down the content. So yeah, much better than cat. And one of the good news about this tool is that you can do an alias and you can change from cat to bat doing an alias, and it's 100% compatible. Okay, another tool. I don't know if you ever done git diff. I sometimes I do that. And if you are using the default diff tool, you'll see that okay, it works, but it's not really give you a lot of information. And there is another tool that is called diff so fancy that you see the difference. This is the normal diff, and this is how we're going to look now the diff. You see that there is a lot of more colors, and also here there is some table headers, if you will, with the file that we are checking the reference. And one of the great things is that it can be installed to be the default git diff command when we are running git diff. So let me go again to the Quarkus project and let me do a git diff. I think that I'm going to put it here. And you see, it says that between these two commits, there are the following differences. In the pom.xml, you see that in red, it's what I've added. In yellow or green is the previous version. You see also all the things that have changed it. They can go down, down, down. You see all the changes. And then here, it changed another file. So you see here with the modified. And again, you can scroll, checking all the changes in a, let's say, more human readable way, rather than the one that we saw with the standard git diff. Then another tool, it's the third tool. Let's see the fourth tool. The fourth tool is named FX. And it's the perfect tool to navigate through JSON files. Because at the very end, if you think about Kubernetes, Most of the time, we are using YAML or JSON. I suggest you to use JSON, but I know that almost everyone is using YAML. But okay, that's another thing. And also, when we are in the REST API world, probably your output is a JSON file. And to visualize a JSON file, okay, you can use cat as we've seen before. Let me go again to the here. You can do cat of planets, and yeah, it's it's again it's not it's just a plain output. You can do bad planet as well, and yes, it works. It's much better, but see that it's not formatted. Here is the opening bracket, the close is here, okay, and okay, this is a small document, but it could be a really big document. So what we can do is just use fx. See that I do fx planets.json, and I'm got it this. The first thing that I want you to notice is that it's formatted and the arrays are collapsed. If I click it here, I'm going to click my mouse here. You see the output. I click it again, wait, and it goes down. And also, I can just navigate with my arrows and open it and close it. So, okay, it's much, much better to navigate to the JSON files, especially when we've got big documents. But it's even more. I can push the dot button and I enter into like an interactive menu where I can just navigate through here and say, okay, I want to see, for example, only the name. And I'm just getting the name. Or films, and I'm just getting the array of films. And even I could do, if I'm correct, this, and I'm getting just the first element or the second element. So you can see that fx also comes with, let's say, some kind of JSON query language that lets you navigate through that file. And it's really useful when you are in the REST API world with Kubernetes JSON files. Okay, that is the fourth. Let's go to the fifth tool. That's really funny because it's named LSD. Yeah, I know that the name might be not the best one, but it means LS Deluxe. Basically, what it does, or you can think about it like an LS with steroids, that lets you do an LS, but giving you more information. Let's do LSD. And you can see here that it detects that this is a directory because I've got this symbol with a directory. Then I've got planet.json and it put me here the brackets. And also I've got here the script.doc and it put it here, the icon that this is a file. Okay, I could go, for example, to Quarkus one, Quarkus directory. If I do LSD, okay, you see that there's more and more and more information like the POM, the markdown, the directories, the txt here, so on. And oh, here the shell script as well. And even I could do LSD-L, which doesn't look very well here in my cases because of this yellow, but this is because I've got the wrong team and I'm not able to install one for the white team. But see that if I put it this way, you see here, the size is human readable, not like the default one in Linux or in Mac. Notice that if I do here an ls-ll, you see that the size are in bytes and you need to translate them. If I do lsd-l, I get it in kilobytes, megabytes, and so on. So LSD is a really nice tool if you are a developer that needs to deal with files, with big directory structures, and you need to keep always the size of the files, or you need to monitor the size of the files and so on. This tool works really, really well. Okay, let's go to another one. And the third one, oh, sorry, this one is the sixth one. It's named McFly. McFly again. I mean, except the power, except the first one, this one, the power level 10K. The other ones, BAT, for example, it works. I guess that it works with all this. I don't know if Windows, yeah, no, Windows maybe not, but in Linux and Mac it works. Then the so fancy, I think that it works with, yeah, with Windows as well. FX, I think that works with Windows too. Yeah, because it's an NPM. LSD, I think that it only works with, yeah, it doesn't work with, yeah, with Windows as well. So you can use in Windows. McFly again, it works with all the, I think that works with all the operative systems, or not, or only Linux and Mac. Let me check. Mac, yeah, I think that only Mac and Linux, sorry. Okay, so maybe it can be port. But basically, what it does, McFly? Well, McFly replaces your default Control R shell history with an intelligent search engine. But basically, this search engine takes into consideration the directory where you are and also your recent executed commands. So, for example, let's say that I'm here and I do git, and you see that I've got the auto completion. This auto completion comes because of power level 10K, but maybe I want to navigate through Git and see all my previous commands. So thanks of McFly, now I can push Control R and see that I get it this super menu that says, what do you want to do? I get a status, or maybe you want to do Git diff that was done 6 minutes ago, or maybe Git ADB, Git push origin, Git push upstream master, and so on. And the nice thing about here is that you see that here it says Git push origin main at top of Git push origin master. This is because McFly knows that I'm in Quarkus directory, and in the Quarkus directory, most of the time I do git push main and not git push master. So it put this this command at top of the list. Okay, really nice tool. I use most of the time because it helps me to have all the story and I can navigate with just my arrows. Let's go to the seventh tool. The seventh one is called JPing, because if you are you have someone from the operation team, or maybe you're a developer or DevOps that you are interested in knowing how some hosts are behaving, you can just use ping, that's true, but you could also use JPing. You put JPing Google, and you can see that it starts doing pings, and you can see the IP that it's doing, the minimum time, the maximum, the average, the jitter, the 95 percentile as well, and you see here that also prints you a graph. So if you are a ping person, probably you need JPing as a tool for your or in your toolkit. Okay, now we've got JPing. The next one, super. I mean, I will say that it's the superb website. I don't know when this website was done. It says the last update it was in 2021, but well, the style I would say that it's 1996. But in any case, I think that is a really nice tool, which is called More. If you are into Linux and Mac, you know that there is um, a tool that it's called More that we can run it now if you want. I can do more script.doc, and well, you see it's just printing all the things that my script, all the things that I need to show you. You see that I can navigate through, but that's all. Okay, now let me show you the same, but with move. Most script.doc. Okay, you see that now it seems that it's exactly the same thing. I can just navigate up and down, but you see here that is H for help. If I do help, you see that there is a bunch of new commands that you can run with most. And one of the ones that I really love is this one, that splitting windows. So I can push a key, and I'm going to do Control minus X2. Wait, Control minus X2. X2. Hey, wait. Yeah, it's Control X2. Okay, Control X2. Control X2. No. Okay, now, finally, I've been able to run it. You see that now I've got two windows. I've split it, the output. So now I can compare. I can go up, then I can do this, and I can go move this one, and I can compare. Or I can navigate from, from the bottom of the file and again from the top of the file. So this is something that you cannot do it with more, and you can do it with most. Let's go with the ninth tool. Ninth tool is Hey. Hey, it's a tool that let you send some load to a web application. I would say that it's not something that it's an HTTP load generator, okay? But probably this is not something that you want to do, like say, as a performance test, but it helps you a lot as a developer to get an idea if your service is behaving correctly or not. So let's do a Hey, and in this case, I'm just saying I want to send during 10 seconds 50 concurrent requests to this URL. So during 10 seconds, 50 clients are going to send requests to this URL. I just run it. That takes a bit of time. But finally, it just, it gives you here all the average of the DNS dial-up, then the latency of the distribution. Here, you see also an histogram, say that most of the requests took 43 milliseconds, and then 3,255 took 55 milliseconds. Well, here you see the total time, the slowest, the fastest, the average, the request per second, the size, and so on. So as I said, maybe you are not going to use this as a performance tool. You can, if you want, of course. But as a developer, it's a tool that I usually use to validate that my, let's say, new version of a service, it's working in similar parameters, and I'm not getting any regression regarding the performance. Okay, let's go to the 10th. The 10th one is Tick. Tick is just a way to, you can say that it's like a browser for a Git repository, but this browser is in the terminal. So I'm going to Quarkus again, for example. I'm just checking Quarkus because it's a project that I work, and I've got here the repo, and I'm going to do Tick log. And you can see that the logs are a bit more fancy than the default Git log. You see here the colors. It says here the reps, main and master, the author. Well, here you can see that all the files that have been modified with what this has been added, what has been removed. And if I click it, then you can even split you see here, split the window, and I can start comparing everything. But this is for tick, log. I can also, for example, do tick, blame, you see, readme.md. And again, you can see that the blame is much better. This is a readme. I can see all the changes that has happened, who did that changes. And for example, this one from Clemon. And if I push enter, then I can even see the changes that had happened in this in this commit as well. So yeah, it's like I said, okay, you can go to the GitHub UI, but also if you are a CLI developer, you can use Tick. Another one that has Tick is Tick minus, and what you can, for example, in this case, do is get or show me how it was readme.md in this, 1 year ago. So I can push it, And I can see all the changes that happened to readme.md since in 1 year, from 22 of February of 2021 and today. And of course, I can just go in here and I will be able to see the changes. Okay, that's the 10th. And let's go to the 11th one. The 11th one is ZogZidi. ZogZidi basically is a smarter CD. Some people replace or make an alias between CD and Z. And let me show you in a just in a moment. See that I'm now in Git Quarkus. If I do Z, I'm going to my home directory. Now maybe I can do whatever. I'm going to another directory. But then he said, okay, now I need to come back to Quarkus. And I can do Z Quarkus. And it jumps directly to the latest time that I was in a Quarkus directory. So since I was in Git Quarkus, then when I do Z Quarkus, it moves to Git Quarkus. What's happened if I navigated to Git Quarkus and then I've got another directory that is, for example, temporal slash Quarkus? Then Z doesn't know if you want to go to the Git one, the Git slash Quarkus, or to the temp slash Quarkus. Then it opens you a window and let you choose which one you want. These are the 11 tools that I wanted to show, but I have a bonus track for you. One tool that, for me, it's the best one because it saves me the life multiple times. Because I've got my fingers are not very smart, and most of the time I do, for example, git branch. Oh, I'm putting GT branch, not git branch. Oh yeah, it's true. Okay, then I do fuck. And I said, you mean git branch? Yes, I mean this. And then execute it. Or sometimes I do git branch. This happens to me as well. And I said, oh yeah, it's true, fuck. And you can see here, git branch. Yeah, git branch. This is what I want. And even I can implement my own um, my own corrections. For example, this one. If you have attended any session that I've delivered about Kubernetes, you know that all the time I write kbctl all the time. I'm not able to do kubectl. It's impossible. The U is something that I always miss. So I created my fuck Python script that says if I run the command kubectl, then just the command should be kubectl and all the commands that was there. For example, if I do kubectl apply, it says kubectl is not found. But if I do fuck, it says, you mean kubectl apply? Yes, I mean this. So this tool, it's something that I really like, because when you are always doing this kind of typos, it saves you a lot of time. And if you go to the website, which is here, you'll see that there is integration with apt-get, Git, Python, more Git, also REPL, and well, there is a lot. You can see there is one place here that it shows you here. Cat, CD, Docker login, Docker.found, fix file, Git branch, well, Git pool. You see that there's a lot of them, and Rails, sudo, yarn, whois, and if you cannot find it, then you can implement your own rule. And that's all that I wanted to show. Well, just remember that the link is bit.ly/11 CLI tools. And as I said to you, here are the links for all these tools. Okay, I don't know if there is any. I see that. Can you name some cool CLI tools bundled with Red Hat, which is not present in other Linux distributions? Oh, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask you this one, Alex, but I didn't know if you had the answer. But I believe that most of the tools that you presented, if not all of them, can be installed in any Linux distribution.
Yeah, 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 and in Mac because I'm here in the Mac and it works in Mac. And I would say that of the 12 tools, I think that 10 are also installable in a Windows.
Okay, like pure Windows or using WSL?
Well, or Mingwell. Ming, you know that it's called. Wait a second. It's Mingwing or Min GW. There's something for Windows. I think that it's called Minimalist GNU for Windows files. It's
Okay,
using this.
didn't know that. But if you happen to try on Windows, please report to us. We'll be happy to
Yeah.
share it. Okay. Okay, I think that was the only question. Yeah, I'd like to thank you very much, Alex. Like, we saw some comments, like, very interesting too. I didn't know some of them myself. I'm pretty sure the audience, like, learned like one or two or even 12 tools today. So, thank you very much, and hope to see you in another DevNation Tech Talk soon.
Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.